What's up, board game people? I'm working on several videos at the moment, but a request for this one came in, and it's a campaign I'd been meaning to research, and I'm glad that I got the push to do so. Today we're going to take a quick look at the Zerywia campaign and all that's included in each pledge level, try to make heads or tails of the changes that the new Zerywia Quest introduces. There's a lot here, and a lot to like about this game. Before we get started, please note that all opinions are my own. I don't get paid by any game companies for making these videos. I make them to help gamers like you and me who are considering backing a crowdfunding campaign make better and informed decisions. If I get something wrong, which I've been known to do, or we disagree on something, let me know in the comments. I'd love to discuss. If you like this type of board game content, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell or the like button, and helping our channel grow and reach an even bigger crowd. So I first learned of Zerywia when I learned that I'd missed the chance to late back the first campaign. I put it on a list to one day find a copy and forgot about it for a time. To be honest, I almost missed the fact that it was getting a reprint and that it had already launched kind of snuck by me as well. I'm very glad I took the opportunity to dig deeper into this intriguing game. Before I begin, I will apologize for any mispronunciations I make throughout this video. I'm doing my best. Zerywia is based off the gods of Slavic mythology. You'll enter the dark mythical world of Zerywia where you'll seek to become one of the chosen. Darkness pours from the rifts, and the servants of the void are trying to enslave humanity. You must become the light of Svintovit and save the world from oblivion. You will play as one of the heroes of the tribe working together, and you will oppose the goddess of the darkness, Nyx, the lady of the void. Each scenario or campaign of Zerywia will have you hunting down and facing off against one of the Ugmors, the sons of Nyx, to stop the encroaching darkness. Standing tall in the center of the game board, you'll find the statue of Svintovit. Svintovit was a four-headed god of abundance and war, and each of his faces on the statue will face a dawnstone towards a tile of the game board. These stones grant a bonus to the heroes, but as time passes, Nyx's influence on the world grows. They are replaced with blackstone, signifying the weakening of the forces of light. When the final Dawnstone is replaced with the Blackstone, Nyx's influence can no longer be stopped. She enters the world and the hero's quest comes to an abrupt failure and end. The base game of Zerywia is designed for 1 to 4 players and can be played in many different modes. You can play scenarios as one-offs. The scenarios also combine into short campaigns. You can also play the game in a hard mode, long campaign format called Epos that allows you to play all of the base game scenarios in a single campaign. You maintain your heroes between each scenario, and as you progress, the difficulty is ramped up dramatically. There's also a solo and an easy mode. The game includes 2 scenarios that serve as a good introduction. The Path of the Chosen is a scaled-down tutorial scenario that sets up the story and begins to introduce mechanics to the players, while the Memory of the World isn't really a tutorial, but it serves as a good follow-up to the Path of the Chosen, as it opens up all of the gameplay experience. Another thing you should know before we look at the pledge levels is there's technically 2 different games on offer here. You're able to pick up the reprint of the original Zerywia game with corrections to cards, and I assume it updates to the rulebook. You can also get the Zerywia Quest, which is both a standalone game in the Zerywia universe for 1 to 2 players, and it's also an expansion to the original game that will add 2 whole map tiles and new ways to play within the game world, including a new game mode variant. Okay, now that we know a bit about the game, let's take a look at some of the different pledge levels and what they're offering. There are quite a few to choose from, depending on what you would like to receive. First up is the Zerywia Quest pledge for £49 that will get you the Zerywia Quest standalone game and any applicable stretch goals. Next, for £59, you can pick up the Zerywia the board game pledge and grab the original board game, the Hexer expansion, and any applicable stretch goals. Then for £95, you can grab the Zerywia Collector's Edition Warrior Pledge that will get you the Zerywia board game, the Hexer expansion, the Legends expansion, and Into the Wild expansion, and all stretch goals. For £165, you can get the Zerywia Collector's Edition Hero Pledge that gets you the Zerywia the board game, the Hexer, Legends, Into the Wild, Scorn, Thymor Gods, Hole Eater, and Pochara expansions, and all stretch goals. Coming in at £225, you can get the Zerywia Collector's Edition Chosen One pledge and receive the Zerywia board game, the Hexer, Legends, Into the Wild, Scorn, Thymor Gods, Hole Eater, and Pochara expansions, 4 double-layer wooden player boards, the engraved wooden box with organizers, 2 trays for tokens, and all unlocked stretch goals. Finally, for £269, you can grab the Zerywia Collector's Edition Allfather pledge and get the Zerywia the board game, the Hexer, Legends, Into the Wild, Scorned, Thymor Gods, Hole Eater, and Pochara expansions, 4 double-layer wooden player boards, the engraved wood box with organizer, 2 trays for tokens, Zerywia Quest, and the Dragon Lore expansion, and all unlocked stretch goals. This could be an expensive campaign, but if you're just jumping in on the cheap, I'd say go for the Quest and the Dragon Lore expansion, or grab the base game and the Hexers expansion. I imagine the other expansions will be available in limited quantities on eBay or BoardGameGeek. If you see other expansions you're interested in, it's worth getting those now though. Otherwise, grab one of the collector's pledges and go crazy. Let's take a look at what all is available as add-ons. Some of these are bundled nicely into pledge levels, but there are brand new expansions introduced in this campaign that are only available in the add-on section. First, for £9, you can grab the Legends expansion, compatible with the Zerywia board game, which adds 110 cards and provides short scenarios that can be played between main scenarios during the campaign. For £12, you can get the Dragon Lore expansion, compatible with both Zerywia and Zerywia Quest. This adds 100 cards in the form of exploration, creatures, items, and saga cards. Into the Wild expansion will run you another £12. It's compatible with Zerywia. It gets you 2 new heroes, new saga cards, and new exploration cards. For £14, you can get 4 laser cut and engraved player boards. For another £24, you can get the Scorned expansion, compatible with Zerywia, that gets you 4 Scorned Renegades, saga, hero, and enemy cards. For £25, you can get the wooden organizer that fits into the standard cardboard box and will hold Into the Wild and the Scorned expansions. At £25, you can get the Pochara expansion, which includes 1 huge scale monster model, 6 Pochara sapperlings, 6 garrison minis, and 30 cards. This is compatible with the Zerywia the board game. £30 more nets you the Thymor God expansion. This includes 1 companion mini, 4 god statue minis, 55 cards, and is compatible with the Zerywia board game. For another £30, the Hole Eater expansion is available for the Zerywia board game. This includes the huge dragon mini, 1 new hero, and cards. Zerywia Quest is available as an add-on for £49. You can get the engraved wooden box for £65 that comes with the organizers that fit the base game, Into the Wild, and Scorned Renegades expansion. For £79, you can grab the big expansion bundle containing the Hole Eater, Thymor Gods, and Pochara expansions at a £6 discount. Last but certainly not least, you can get the Primeval Soul expansion for £30. This expansion is compatible with the Zerywia board game and does not come in any bundle or pledge level. This expansion is new to this campaign, and it's the first new expansion for the base game. It contains a Titan miniature, 2 campaigns consisting of 3 scenarios each, a Herald and its cards, a set of Nyx cards, new personal saga, and exploration cards. Just to reiterate, if you get the Allfather pledge, you will still need to add the Primeval Soul expansion to get everything. There also may be new expansions introduced through the campaign where you will need to add those in as well. The campaign has 9 days left at the time of filming, and they're still knocking out stretch goals. Stretch goals are monetary, and they're set at levels that are completely in line with development and production costs of the items on offer. So these are what we would refer to as true stretch goals. Many have been unlocked, and it looks like they're working towards even bigger reveals very soon. They hope to be shipping rewards to backers in 1 year, in May of 2023, and shipping will be collected at a later date in the Pledge Manager. So let's get to my thoughts. I'm going to start with the elephant in the room. Within a few seconds of glancing in the comments on the campaign, you'll see the backers of the first campaign requesting updates on where their rewards are from the original campaign. This perhaps isn't the best look for anyone asking for more money for a second printing with more content. I think the truth here begs for a little deeper digging, though. This is a very small company working on a passion project. They're working with several semi-local production partners to produce the minis, the wooden parts, the printed material, and so on. I don't know for sure, but it's sounding a lot like they're picking and packing the games themselves. I was involved in the picking and packing of the Bones 1 Kickstarter so many years ago, and I can say that it's an area that many companies will vastly underestimate. It takes time, organization, and a small army of people to get it done right and quickly. I think that given time, the packages will get out the door and into backers' hands, and the company has been upfront and willing to help with any mistakes in packing. Reviews for the game, from those that have received their packages and those that got early copies, have been wonderful. This sounds like a diamond in the rough situation. Sure, there are things that need to be corrected, and this is their chance to really polish the game and correct those mistakes. The expansion content that they've added really highlights how well designed the modularity of their system is. It's fairly easy for them to add new heroes, new campaigns, even some new major mechanics into the already built core game experience without rewriting the whole system. That speaks volumes from a design and testing standpoint. The next thing that stuck out to me is that there is very little information on how Zerywia Quest, quote, unlocks new ways to play the game when combined with Zerywia. In this case, I really wish there was a rulebook for Quest available. I understand that there are 2 new map tiles and that they hide from this Vintivit statue, but I'd really like more information on the scope of gameplay changes up front. I was able to find more useful information on an update from the previous campaign than I was on this campaign's page. The update really gives the best glimpse into Quest, stating that in Quest, quote, your task is to cure new lands of a poison whose source is the cursed viper. Here you have your own time track, which is a ritual system, in the center of the 2 boards. Zerywia Quest can also be combined with the base version of Zerywia, the board game, to allow gameplay on a much larger map. Add new scenarios, sagas, items, and game modes. One called Invasion, a mode in which, in addition to stopping the Nyx cult, you must fend off attacks from new lands beyond Vintivit's sight. For clarity, I wish this had been found in the reprints campaign page, and expanded upon even more. I would like to know how many scenarios it will add, how can old scenarios be changed when playing on a larger map? Just more details in general would have been welcomed. The lack of wordy descriptions may just be a perceived problem. Maybe I'm not like everyone else. Everyone else may not want to read long descriptions of the expansions and what they bring to the table, but as a new backer, just looking into the list of components added by each game or expansion gives me very little idea of what it really adds to the game. Find the meat of the game, the mechanics, and even more the story, I had to dive into the rulebook that was linked. I also watched the setup and gameplay videos for the first scenario. These are well done, a bit lengthy, but worth the watch if you really want to experience what the game is all about before it hits your table. What stuck out to me the most was the saga system of the cards. In the game, you're finding items and stories in the form of a saga deck. Say you pick up an axe. That axe has a saga deck that comes with it. At first, it might simply be a decent axe for lopping someone's head off with. But as you progress, you can choose to take different paths along the saga cards that accompany the axe. They're like side quests. You can complete it one way, and you travel down one possible path, and the axe gets upgraded. Sometimes there's another path to choose, which would result in upgrading the axe in a totally different way. I love the idea that my relics, my rituals, my allies, and my feats all have stories of their own. Sagas even come in the pure form as stories that are branching side quests that allow you to choose a path and experience a completely different story arc in search of a reward. I would say after skimming the rulebook that this game has a medium weight to it. After a few games, you'll learn the rules and the order of the phases, and after that, you'll be referencing the scenario book much more than the rulebook. I'll stop right here and say that I'm not meaning to be overly harsh. I'm simply offering the perspective of a new backer who had little to no interaction with the original campaign. I'm backing this project myself. Hell, I'm all in and extremely excited to play this game and show it to the world here on the channel. I love the artwork. Anytime a game has a theme that's foreign to me and my collection, I jump in head first. Writing this campaign guide, I learned a lot about Slavic mythology and religion that I never would have learned otherwise, and I look forward to allowing the game to immerse me in its setting and involve me in the battle against the gods of old. The miniatures convey the story well, and I'm excited to see them achieve their dream of offering even larger minis for this game. I think that each expansion really adds to the diversity and flavor offered. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is the type of project that Kickstarter was created for. This is a small company working together with local partners to bring a passion project to life. Most games like this simply wouldn't exist if crowdfunding wasn't available. A lot of passion has been poured into the making of this game, and it shows in the gameplay, the presentation, and the quality of its components. I think if the setting and thematic nature of the game interests you, then this is a solid pick at whatever level you choose to back at. They have plenty of time to work out the kinks in their shipping process before delivery begins on this campaign. And as a newer and smaller company, they've already learned the hard lessons. Now the backers can reap the reward of that education. So I'll leave it at that. This has already become a lengthy campaign guide. I just wish I would have put out one sooner. This campaign deserves more attention than it's getting, but I don't think we as backers will miss out on much either way. I look forward to being able to cover this in full in the upcoming year. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. You're the type of people I make these videos for. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing or hitting that like button. It really does help the channel to get more eyes on the videos that we make and the projects I cover. It's a win-win. If you have any questions or you think of something that I could have added to this video, let me know in the comments. Thanks again and play something fun tonight.